WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM morning show. Before we get going with another great conversation here, let's thank the sponsors that make it possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the phone line now with me is Jack Myers, a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration. Mr. Jack Myers, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing super well. I'm ready to get informed all about the Social Security Administration today. That's how I'm doing. So let's hop right into it here. Talked a little bit about it last time, but I'm happy to be revisiting it because this is just a topic that can send fear throughout my spine, at least. Needing a new or just a replacement of your Social Security card. Gosh, this is an important document, but you guys have answers for us if we do need that replacement.
Yeah, Tim, it is something that is pretty common. Social Security card related transactions are really the most common reason that people visit our offices.
Wow.
But it shouldn't be something that causes fear or anxiety or anything like that. It's not, that difficult to do. And in fact, we've kind of made the process a little easier with some enhancements we've made to our website. So if you go to our website at ssa.gov, you can find information about the Social Security number and card. And now we have this online application, if you will, where basically it'll ask you questions to try and determine what situation you have. Maybe you just need a replacement card. You don't need to change anything. You have a driver's license. You have a state ID from the state of Illinois or most other states. And in that circumstance, you can probably just do the whole thing and request your replacement right through the website without having to visit an office. But it's possible that you have a different circumstance. Maybe you're needing to do a name change because of a marriage or divorce or something like that. And you may ultimately need to visit an office with your document that proves your name change. So, in those cases, it's going to be a little different, but the tool is going to recognize that, and it's going to kind of route you through whatever path is appropriate. If you do need to come into an office, it'll allow you in most cases to do the application online. It'll show you or tell you what you need. And then the really cool part about it, Tim, is it'll let you set up an appointment. So once you've done that application, it'll let you set up an appointment so you can pick a date and time that you're going to come to the Social Security office, and you won't just have to wait. You won't be kind of at the mercy of whoever else showed up that day. You'll have a date and time scheduled so your visit will be more efficient, not to mention the fact that you will already have done that application on the website, so it'll make it that much more efficient once you get into the office that day. So just kind of a nice new adjustment or enhancement, I should say, to the process. And again, that's available on our website, ssa.gov. Once you're there, look for Social Security number and card, and it'll start you right down that process.
Easy enough, and really making it easy out here on people that are struggling with that Social Security Administration part. And a weird question right here: what if you forget your Social Security number and you don't have a card? What process do you have to take to address that?
Yeah, so I I suppose that's a common scenario. I don't know if it's common,
Sure.
but I suppose it's a possible
Yeah.
scenario, I guess I should say. First thing I would suggest is kind of look back at some of your documents that you have. If you have any tax returns or something that you filed in the past, that Social Security number is going to be on there, so you'll find it there. If you just don't have anything that has it on it, then you're going to probably just need to visit us in an office, because you wouldn't really be able to do the process or start the process online without that Social Security number.
Right.
If you're just looking for a replacement card, but just visit us and have documentation, have your ID with you, and we can get you taken care of.
Right. Still do not fear. The Social Security, the good people with Social Security will still help you out there. Like you said, probably not too common, but definitely possible. I feel like some people out there have definitely had to deal with that, but you guys got answers for them. That is awesome. Anything left for our listeners there on replacement Social Security cards?
Well, just a couple more things I'll mention here. Number one, if you do set up an appointment through that online option, If you need to change that appointment, you can do that online. You don't have to call to change, so that's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
And then number two, Tim, if you're going to need to bring documents, if you go through the process and it says, oh, you're going to need a marriage certificate or you're going to need a divorce decree to prove that name change, for example, we need to see certified copies. We can't take photocopies. So, and the same, of course, would be true for your ID. So just make sure you're bringing us originals or certified copies, because we'd hate to see you, bring a photocopy and then have to turn around and come back a different time and, just waste your time and energy trying to do that. And, that can be frustrating. So originals or certified copies are what we're going to need.
Awesome. And saving a trip and saving time right there. That is really awesome. And that information, a lot of it can be found at www.ssa.gov/number-card. That all sound good to you right there?
Sure does.
Awesome. Let's switch gears just a little bit right here to another interesting topic. Are Americans financially educated on their retirement savings? I know I'm not. I could always be more educated. What are you hearing?
Yeah, we're kind of hearing that you're not alone.
Okay.
I think that's kind of a theme that is fairly common. And, financial education is so important. And it's not just the retirement component. That's obviously what we key in on at Social Security, because, that's kind of part of what we do is administer retirement benefits through the Social Security program. But there are a lot of aspects that are covered by financial education. It can help people learn about savings, credit, loans, life changes, the unexpected happens. Hopefully there's some financial saving there that'll help you get through that. But as we talked about, financial planning and retirement do kind of go hand in hand as well. So, we look at things like that. We look at studies that they do and kind of hear about how prepared adults are in the U.S. for retirement. So I noticed something recently. There was this place called the National Endowment for Financial Education, NEFE for short. And they do polls to kind of gauge retirement savings and how awareness of it and understanding of it is affecting people's financial well-being. And so a couple of things I found interesting, and I won't bore you with a ton of statistics, but a couple of things that I found interesting was that in a poll conducted during the pandemic, 85% of the respondents confirmed that some aspect of their personal finances was causing them stress. So that's obviously a huge number. And then for 31% of respondents, the concern was having enough saved for retirement. So, of course, that piques my interest.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the retirement piece of this. And then again, the third thing I'll mention is, and I found this interesting as well, is that in a poll about education mandates, financial education mandates, 80% of adults said that they wish they had been required to complete a semester or year-long course focused on personal finance education during high school. So all of that says a few things to me. Number one, it says people are a little bit uneasy about their finances, especially in how much they've saved for retirement, and they wish they had more information about it. Well, the one thing that we can offer there in terms of information is stuff that's on our website. So if you go to ssa.gov, we've got a couple different places that I think would help alleviate some of that stress. Number one, there's a section that says prepare. So if you go there, you can just kind of learn about retirement stuff. You can learn about things you're going to need to know as you approach retirement age. And that's all general information. But then you could go specifically into what we call your My Social Security account. So you'd have to either log into your account or create an account if you haven't already done that. And then you can see your own personal earnings history. You can see estimates of what your retirement benefit will be. And you can do that at different ages. So you could test things out and see, well, what if it was this age or what if it was that age? You can see an estimate of what you'd get if you became disabled, what your family members would get potentially if you passed away. So those are really powerful pieces of information to have, especially coupled with that prepare section, where hopefully you can read up on some of that stuff, get a little better understanding of it, and feel a little better financially about your awareness. And like I said, hopefully alleviate some stress that those subjects may be causing.
Without a doubt, and that earnings history and all of that can really kind of help that stress subside just a little bit. Those numbers that you brought up, they're very telling. 31% of respondents concerned about having enough saved for retirement. That just feels like a very specific one. I feel like some of the other categories, and I don't know the categories, but it could be emergency money, funds, or things like that, which could be broader. But as you said, it sparked your interest, and it should have. 31% really are having stress about having enough saved for retirement. We're going to talk more about this with Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration, after we come back from break. It's about that time, folks. Time flies when we were speaking with Jack Myers. My name is Tim Zalabak, and you are listening to the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets now. The RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all in the green at this hour. March corn up 3 1/4, 4.10 1/4. May corn up 4 1/4, 4.25 3/4. December new crop 461 1/2, up 4 1/2. March beans up 9 3/4, 11.45 3/4. May beans 11.55 3/4, up 10 1/2. And November new crop up 13, 11.42 3/4. March Chicago wheat 584 1/2, up 7 1/4. July wheat up 9, 586. March bean meal 335.90, that's up $1.50. March bean oil 45.30, up 90 cents. Livestock market at this hour. March feeders up 67 cents, 253.72. February live cattle 186.32, up 60 cents. April lean hogs 86.37, up a dime. Energy market April crude oil 78.26, up 68 cents. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to promote the creation and retention of jobs and to increase the economic tax base through the development, establishment, and expansion of commerce and industry in the Christian County area. I'm Matt Hart, CCEDC's new Executive Director. I'm here to work with existing county employers as well as develop relationships towards creating new jobs in our county. Feel free to reach out to me, Matt Hart, by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, are proud to continue their long-standing sponsorship of honoring Taylorville High School Students of the Month on WTIM's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online, and on WMKR Genuine Country 94.3.
Hi, my name is Ashton Norrell. I'm the Junior Student of the Month at Taylorville High School. My parents are Robert and Shannon Norrell. My extracurriculars are football. My interests and hobbies are carving, woodworking, lifting, and building. My future plans are to attend a trade school, have my own construction company or renovation company. My favorite subject is athletic enhancement because I love to lift, the environment, and my teacher, Mr. Matier.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, salutes these great Taylorville High School students on this honor and wish them the best in their future. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
This is Jenny Turvey, manager of Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville. To learn more about our apartments, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Before we continue with this great conversation with Jack Myers, thanks so much to the sponsors that make it possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Jack Myers is a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration. That first half, we were talking about being educated on retirement savings, and Jack read us some very telling numbers from a poll. Now, we're kind of wrapping that conversation up, but what else did you have for our listeners about that?
Yeah, Tim, just wanted to mention that if anybody wanted to dig a little deeper into those polls that were done, the group that conducted that poll, like I said, that NEFE group, they have a website where that research can be found. So if you go to www.nefe.org, you will find that. And again, that's NEFE.org. NEFE, and that stands for National Endowment for Financial Education. So NEFE.org if you want to read up on some of those polls they conducted about financial awareness and issues surrounding it.
Awesome, man. Really, really great that you provided that link there for us all, because it's just gonna, if anything, it'll show you that you're not alone if you're dealing with some of these troubles, and yeah, they're very, very telling statistics there. So now moving to our next little conversation piece here, talking still about some Social Security benefits, but now this question: are they taxable, Jack Myers?
Yeah, so that's the time of year we're in, right?
Yeah.
We're thinking about that kind of stuff, and so people may wonder, do you have to pay federal income tax on Social Security? And the answer is you may. So whether or not you do is going to depend on your combined income, which is going to be whatever your adjusted gross is, plus any non-taxable interest, plus half of your Social Security benefit.
Wow.
So now that you know what the combined income is comprised of, whether or not you pay taxes, federal taxes anyway, on it, is determined by where you're at with that combined income. So if you file your tax return as an individual and your combined income is $25,000 or more, there is going to be some federal tax liability. If you file a joint return and your combined income is $32,000 or more, there is going to be some federal tax liability, and there are a couple tiers built in there. So for the individual level, it's 25 to 34. If you're in that range, you may have to pay federal income tax on up to 50% of your Social Security benefits at whatever your tax rate is. And then if you're above 34, then up to 85% of your Social Security benefits become taxable at whatever your tax rate is. And then for married filing jointly, that tier is 32 to 44. And then above 44 is where that 85% kicks in. But remember, it is at whatever your tax rate is. So I don't want to scare anybody with that 50 or 85%. It doesn't mean that much of your benefit's going to be taxed. It means that much is taxable at whatever your federal tax rate is. And in the state of Illinois, you don't pay income tax on Social Security benefits. Some states you do, but here you don't. So if you live in Illinois, you just be thinking about that at the federal level. And then there is a way you can request voluntary tax withholding. The IRS will allow us to withhold 7, 10, 12, or 22% if you wish. And you can do that with a form W4V, as in Victor, that you would get from our website. Will actually link you over to IRS, but go to ssa.gov in our forms section, look for W4V as in Victor, get that filled out and submitted to us at Social Security if you want, and we'll get that set up for you.
Awesome. More great information right there. And yes, you have to read the complete sentence right there of 50% of your Social Security benefits, not a 50% tax. And of course, if you're reading that not critically right there, you might get a little bit scared. Anything else to talk about there on benefits being taxable with Social Security?
Just one more quick note here. If SSI, Supplemental Security Income Benefits, are not taxable. So if you only received SSI, you wouldn't have gotten a 1099 from us. But if you did receive Social Security benefits in 2023, last month in January, you should have gotten an SSA 1099, which is going to show you how much you received. And if you had any tax withholding, it'll show that. That's what you need to fill out your taxes. If you've misplaced that or don't remember getting it, you can go into My Social Security at ssa.gov and pull up a replacement for that right now.
Awesome. Mr. Jack Myers, we're in our last minute here, but I wanted to hit this one in literally less than a minute. Scam update. How are we spotting, and what are the scams out there right now?
Yeah, just make sure you stay diligent. Coming up here shortly, March 7th, we'll be kind of highlighting scam awareness with our Slam the Scam Day with the Office of Inspector General. Just stay diligent. And if the phone rings and someone's trying to get some kind of strange payment from you, or force you to do something quickly, chances are they're just trying to steal money or information. So be careful.
Absolutely. Jack, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Absolutely. That was Jack Myers, Public Affairs Specialist with the Social Security Administration. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. You have been listening to WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
Students allegedly killed by an illegal immigrant from Venezuela.
Authorities have said Laken Riley died of blunt force trauma. She was found dead February 22nd after a roommate reported she didn't return from a morning run. Newly filed arrest affidavits say suspect Jose Ibarra is accused of using an object as a weapon and, quote, disfiguring her skull and dragging the 22-year-old's body to a secluded area. Riley was a student at the University of Georgia in Athens before she